Welcome to Unapologetically Sensitive, where you can learn, relate, laugh, and maybe even live a bolder, brighter life. I'm your host, Patricia Young, licensed clinical social worker. This is a weekly podcast where we explore the strengths we have because of our sensitivity and some of the challenges it poses as well. The information in this podcast is not a substitute for help from a licensed mental health professional. This is episode 14 and part of a 30-day podcasting challenge that will run through the end of the month, November 2018. My goal is to release an episode every day. I have to tell you guys, I'm loving it, but this is just kicking my behind. It really takes a lot of energy and effort to release an episode every day, and I really want to keep it up. Okay, enough about my whining. So today I am talking with one of my twins, Daniel. The boys came home this past weekend and I recorded a couple of short episodes with them. So my plan is to alternate every day the recordings that I had with them. So today I'm talking to Daniel about self-disclosure. And I know I've been really upfront with you guys that I'm kind of working through something on my own. So you're obviously seeing this come up in most of my content. All I can do is own that it's going on for me so that you know why I'm talking about it so freaking much. So I talked to Daniel about self-disclosure, and I want to be really clear that I make a comment about, both of my kids have ADHD. They're okay with me telling you that. There are many families that choose not to disclose if their kids have ADHD or anything else. I am not making any kind of judgment or statement about what other families should do or values about how other people choose to handle their privacy or self-disclosure. The reason why I want to be upfront with you about this, I think especially as highly sensitive people, and you don't have to be a highly sensitive person to listen to this podcast, but there's something that happens when we hear information, we often take it in and feel like we're doing something bad or wrong. And because I have a lot of energy around this right now, and really what I think it's about is me working through the historical shame that I have and really starting to see that my choice is to show up and be who I am and to allow other people to have whatever experiences or judgments they have about me, but for me to really be who I am authentically and to not try and get as much approval as I've wanted in the past. So anyways, I just want to be clear that just because this is a value that I have, and I praise Daniel because this is something that he also has, everybody has a right to choose what works for them. There is no one right or wrong way. We all get to choose how we show up in the world. I do remember that when the boys were little, I asked one of them something about, how do you want to handle sharing information with your teacher? And it was so sweet because one of them said, well, what do you want me to tell them? Part of what we did for the boys when they were growing up was to really teach them to advocate for themselves and to ask what they felt was important for their teachers to know to help them have the best learning environment. And then it's kind of cute in the end. So obviously I'm wanting to hear a little bit of praise from my kids. So I asked Daniel, what do you want to say about me as a mom? I'll take anything I can to get a little bit of love and praise from my kids. If you live in California and you're interested in working with me, I'm a therapist. If you're having issues come up, if you're having strong reactions, you're feeling like your life is out of balance, hop on over to my website, patriciayounglcsw.com. I'd be happy to talk with you and see if we're a good fit. All right, I hope you enjoy the show. Oh, and the show starts out with something that's a little bit rude. It's just Daniel. I left it in because this is just what happens in our family. All right.
Sorry.
Hey, Daniel.
Hello.
So I just wanted to ask you about something. There are some people in life that tend to be much more private and don't share very much about themselves and their lives, and there are people that tend to be more open. Where do you see yourself if you see it on a continuum? Do you know what I mean by continuum?
I see myself on the side that talks about themselves a lot and doesn't hold much information from people.
And why do you think you're like that?
Because I'm an extrovert and I like talking, not even about myself. I just like talking in general. So if I'm talking about myself, then I guess it keeps me entertained. I don't know. I just don't feel like holding stuff back from people is that important to me. I don't really have a idea of what I want to keep and don't want to keep from people.
I'm not so sure that has to do with introversion and extroversion. I think it's really more of an issue of privacy, and everybody has different amounts that they choose or feel comfortable sharing. I guess what I'm thinking is, like I know even, you have ADHD and you've taken meds throughout your whole life.
Yeah.
And at school, you would need to go and take your meds. And tell me how that usually went for you.
I didn't have a problem with it.
And did you usually bring somebody with you?
Yeah, my brother.
That, or what I recall is that, you and a friend.
Oh, yeah, I would take Grayson. Or I'd
Yeah.
take, yeah.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. That was such a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. But I think about even when you played baseball, that at 5:30 it was time for pills. And so Dad and I wouldn't go like, hey, it's time for your ADHD meds.
Yeah. I just like freely, yeah.
You
and
know,
I still do it, even now.
Yeah, we'd say, hey, it's 5:30, and then you would be the one to say, oh, I need to take my pills, or, I need to take my ADHD. Like you've always been really comfortable and open about that. And I know that there are other families that, they don't want anybody to know that their kid has ADHD, and it's something that's really a secret. So that's really more of what I was thinking about. So how come you're so okay and comfortable about it?
I think it's because, a few reasons. One of them is just like from an early age, you specifically and Dad, but like I was just kind of taught like that even if you had differences, like you're still loved, I guess, and that just because you're different doesn't mean like that you're any better or worse than anybody else. So I guess like I just don't view like what people consider flaws as flaws. I just kind of consider it as just like something. And like I'm a funny person, so I like to make jokes out of kind of like stuff like that where it might be private to somebody, but to me, I'd rather make a joke out of it and make people laugh than just hold it in.
My philosophy and belief was it is what it is, and it wasn't really anything to be ashamed of. I remember even when you guys were little saying that, shots are just a part of life, and so you're just going to have to deal. And the same thing with you guys having ADHD or different ways that you learn or navigate through the world, that I feel like we were pretty upfront about this is just how it is, but we let you guys decide. I remember every year we would ask you in elementary school, what do you think you want to tell the teacher, until you guys got old enough that you could advocate every year to let the teacher know ahead of time what you wanted the teacher to know about your needs.
Yeah.
Do you remember some of the stuff that we would tell your teachers when you were in elementary school?
If we needed to take a water break, or if we maybe asked like to use the bathroom, that just meant could we go take a break outside and go take a walk if we needed one, or tell them if like we're sitting down for a long period of time, or if like we had a hard time focusing with something, we could give the teacher like a little like thumbs up or something that would let them know that I could communicate with the teacher that I needed a break.
Mm-hmm. We also told the teachers that if you needed to stand to do your work.
Oh yeah, that would be more efficient maybe.
Yep. And do you remember we used to have a box of fidget toys that the teacher would have, so if you needed fidget toys to help you focus?
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I guess this is one of my strong values, and it's also an area where I have a lot of wounding, because I really believe that we just show up how we are, and that there's nothing wrong and nothing to hide, and we're not flawed. And I know that there are a lot of people that really believe in keeping everything close to the heart, and that they feel like there's danger in sharing things. And I have a buzz on this, and so I own that. And really everybody gets to decide for themselves. But I've always been really kind of proud and pleased that I feel like you have internalized the values that I have, and that you just show up and you're who you are, and you don't feel like you have to hide things or have secrets. And I don't know, I just love that about you.
Yeah, thank you.
I think about when you've done stuff and I videoed you and I've said like, can I put this on Facebook? Can I share on social media? And you're just always like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So anyways, is there anything else you want to say before we go?
Make sure you tune into this podcast and future podcasts.
And why should people listen?
Because it's relevant information and it can help you.
And what do you want to say about me as your mom?
I actually have the best mom in the world, and anybody who doesn't believe me, you can, I don't know. I love you.
I love you too, Lovey. Thanks for hopping on with me again. Have a great day.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so grateful you took the time to listen. We have a Facebook group called Unapologetically Sensitive. Feel free to hop on over there if you'd like to be part of the community. If you have any comments, any feedback for me, you can get all information about the show at unapologeticallysensitive.com. Remember, sensitivity is nothing to apologize for. It's our superpower. Have a blessed day.